Hi, and welcome to the Triggered Newscast. Today is April 5th, 2019, and I have some really great information for you guys tonight. So, I know you guys know I've been doing Ruth Bader Ginsburg stuff since I started the channel 30 days ago. And I don't know if all of you subscribers or the viewers right now have actually seen the recent Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary that I published yesterday. It's already got over 5,000 views, and it does a really thorough job just showing what evidence is out there, both that Ruth Bader Ginsburg might be alive or that she might be deceased. And since we still haven't gotten great confirmation on whether she's alive or dead, I'm kind of proposing something tonight that I think a lot of you might get behind. A lot of other channels have said that they're going to call the Supreme Court, that they're going to call congressmen, that they'll go down there when they get 5,000, 6,000 subscribers, if they sell 100 t-shirts. Well, I decided that I want to try and go to Washington, D.C., to go to the Supreme Court, whether it's an oral argument day, whether it's a closed conference session, whether it's a non-argument session. And my goal, unlike all of the mainstream media, who haven't decided to get any live footage of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, is to be on the court steps, to be around the back alley, to be at the entrance to the parking lot, and be live streaming so that we can get live evidence of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's either presence or absence. And I set up the GoFundMe page. Let me throw it down in the chat. My chat hasn't completely refreshed since I think all you guys are just now getting the notifications and dropping on in. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the GoFundMe page down here in the links. It's in the description, but I'm going to drop it right here in the live chat for you guys to look at. And if you guys, I'm not necessarily asking for money from every viewer, from every subscriber. I understand everyone's on YouTube and your purpose isn't necessarily to give money. So if you can't give money towards this objective, towards me going to Washington, D.C. for several nights. It's to cover the round trip ticket, to cover the hotel stay, to cover a rental car. Likely I'd have to take my wife, my dog. We might actually have to drive instead of fly just to do some of those logistical things with my pet. But $3,500 should cover 5 night stay in a hotel in Washington, D.C. I should be able to go to 3 or 4 sessions of the Supreme Court and hopefully live cast every time. So I'll set up a live schedule. If before I achieve the total objective of $3,500, or if I achieve more, whatever the case be, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg is proven to be alive or dead, if great verification comes out before then, all of the money will be refunded to any donors. But if you don't have money, the best thing that you can do, what would be most helpful, is just heart the page, just share it, maybe like this video, share the video, and hopefully we can just put an end to this whole conspiracy. I know a lot of people are just convinced she's dead, and a lot of people are convinced she's alive. I personally just hadn't gotten convinced, and that's why I even created the whole YouTube channel in the first place. If you go back through the channel, a lot of my first videos were on Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and many of them have over 50,000 views. But a lot of them are actually really bad. In the last month, I've gotten a lot better at not only editing. I do this all alone. It's just a hobby. I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not trying to shove Trump coins down your throat or gold or any product or electronic. But what I am trying to do is provide you guys with information. And as I transition out of college here in the next 6 weeks, my goal is to start getting into writing articles, blogs, doing more journalistic enterprises. Right now, I have an interview set up not only with a liberal professor and an assemblyman, but I'm working on getting a California congressman. I'm trying to go towards Dianne Feinstein's office. And my goal with these interviews is not to create hit pieces. I may have a conservative lean, but my goal as far as the news goes is to just put out information. I don't plan to be like the Washington Post and charge you money to see the articles or blogs. I'm doing it purely because I keep looking for information and I can't find it, not from the mainstream media, not from articles and blogs. Until you go to very academic pursuits, there's not a lot of paper trails, there's no sourcing. So I think it's important that somebody puts themselves out there on YouTube, especially the conservative voice. I think a lot of people are too scared to put that out there. It's despite Trump's an executive order for free speech on college campuses, if I were to start announcing in class my political views or non-politically correct statements or the type of research that I want to do that necessarily wouldn't be allowed because it would be too stressful on gender minorities. So I think it's really important that somebody takes the hit for everybody. I'm that guy. I think there's a lot of issues that people have that they can't speak about at work, that they'll feel discriminated against. And that's the goal of me putting the information out there, is just to give the conservative voice, the pro-life, some of these things a voice. But more than that, it's just to provide information, to compile evidence that isn't provided. We see the mainstream media too often will jump on a story that hasn't been verified, spread it like wildfire, then retract it massively from the internet. A lot of people will think something happened that didn't. And when you see, say, the Veritas Project or several other individual journalists who go on these endeavors, when they do great journalism, they're often shot down as fake news. So my goal is not necessarily to compete with CNN. My goal is to respin the BS that CNN or Fox or any of the other mainstream media tries to shove down your throat, to recapitulate that message and give it back to you, the viewer, in an intelligible and a digestible way, and with source information, links, articles, links to full clips. So often you'll see me, just like any other media source, I'll edit footage and portray a message that I'm trying to make. But unlike them, I provide all the source material so you can watch it back in context if you want, often in the same video. So back onto the Ruth Bader Ginsburg topic. I understand that donating to a GoFundMe page doesn't seem very fruitful. Sure, you can claim the $1 in tax, but if you guys can like, share, heart the GoFundMe page, and we can get it in front of 4,000 people who can do $1 or 50 cents, even if that goal can't be met, maybe it can reduce the cost and I can meet the other part way and still do this. My goal is to do it before the oral argument sessions end, which is at the end of April. But if the earliest we can make the money is May, and that's what I have on the GoFundMe campaign page right now. And again, all money would be refunded if the total isn't met, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg is spotted on live TV with Trump or something that's undeniable to everybody. And again, I'm not saying she's dead. I don't necessarily believe she's alive. I think the evidence is extremely flimsy. The GoFundMe page, I'm going to add a content piece to it tonight, shortcutting just all the quick evidence in a really flashy way and explaining the message again, that why I want to go there, and I just want to end the Ruth Bader Ginsburg debate. So there's also another way you can support. Some of you who've been subscribed to me for a while have already seen this, but I have these Ruth Bader Ginsburg stickers. And let me adjust this camera for you real quick. They say, "Find Ruth," and whoever shares the GoFundMe page and gets the most hearts and comments, and I don't care how you share it on your own Facebook, if you share it from my Twitter, from Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, if you get on any social media that I'm not even on myself, that's fine with me. But just, send me a link and let me see that you've been getting a lot of reaction from it, and I'll send you 20 of these. The other way is you can buy these. They're at triggerednewscast.com, and you can get them $3 for one, and I think it's $10 or $20 for 10. So I'll probably also throw in some more bulk packs. If you guys just want to buy them to support it and get something out of the donation, all proceeds specifically from the Where's Ruth stickers will go towards the same trip as well. So my goal again with it is to live cast, to get her on video, and to just put this whole thing to bed. But if you guys haven't, I'm going to go ahead and post right here in the chat the full documentary I made yesterday. I'm going to completely shorten it down for the GoFundMe page just to throw out that information. If the very least you can do is share the video, share the GoFundMe page, either the documentary or the GoFundMe page, and let's just find Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and let me get on to the geopolitical topics that I want to do. Let me get on to the articles. And if you're a content creator yourself, if you have a channel, I see Let's Be Frank's in the chat right now. I know he's got a great channel and talks about this. We got Rogue Research. He's also just started up. I've seen he has a couple of videos, and I think any of the YouTube content creators that see this afterwards, if you want to push this message, if you want to do it yourself, that's fine. If you can beat me to it, if you can just force it to the mainstream media, if you can get TMZ to take more than a 1/7 megapixel picture with a 1990s Verizon phone, then maybe I won't need to even go on this trip. All the dollars that can be returned. But you know, in the spirit of Bernie, let's make it a grassroots campaign. So before I let you go, I got two things for you. Number one, I also got 5 of these stickers for whoever spots the missing Ruth Bader Ginsburg sticker in the background at the end of this video. You might have to rewatch it. It's going to show up in the background. And then the other thing, before I let you go tonight, is a little famous quote from Bernie Sanders. The top shelf of the 1% milk makes me sick to my stomach. God bless America. And again, let's share that link and let's find Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is Triggered News, over and out.